This vault has been remembered for 30 years, and it's still considered one of the most heroic moments in sports history. It happened in Atlanta in 1996 at the Olympics in the gymnastics team final. 18-year-old American Carrie Strug steps up to the vault. The run-up, the flip, and a bad landing with a crack. She knows immediately. Torn ligaments. The doctors ask her to stop, but Team USA is one step from gold. She is one step from gold, the first in history. From the sideline, her coach screams, "You can do it!" And Carrie decides to go again. The run-up, the launch, the flip, and a clean landing on one leg. The crowd erupts. A moment later, she collapses in tears from the pain. The vault is scored. Team USA wins its first ever Olympic gold in women's gymnastics. Her coach carries her to the podium in his arms. But here's the most interesting part. It would later turn out that she didn't even need to vault again. The score was already enough for gold. But still,
this was one of the biggest scandals of the Sydney Olympics. A mistake by the organizers almost cost several gymnasts everything. It happened on the vault. The best gymnasts in the world step up. Svetlana Korkina is the favorite. She runs, takes off, and drops to her knees. Then Elise Ray falls. Then Annika Rita goes down with an ankle injury. Daniele Hippolito hits her head on the vault. 8 out of 18 gymnasts fall. No one understands why. Then Alana Slater asks to check the vault. A coach measures it, 120 centimeters instead of 125. Just 5 centimeters. But that's enough to ruin everything. The organizers fix it and allow a second attempt, but for many, it's already too late. The mistakes have already cost them their medals, and the organizers get away with it. No one is punished. She was the first woman to land 5 quadruple jumps in one program, but the gold went to someone else. Beijing, 2022. 17-year-old Alexandra Trusova steps onto the ice. In the short program, she falls on her triple axel and drops to 4th place. To fight for gold, she has to take a risk. So in the free skate, she plans 5 quads. Quad flip, quad salchow, quad toe loop, and 2 quad lutzes at the end of the program. The arena can't believe what it's seeing. No woman in figure skating history had ever done this before. Trusova scores 177 points and moves into first place overall. But then Anna Sherbakova takes the ice. 2 clean quads, and higher component scores. She earns 175 points, and after the total score, she moves ahead by 4 points and wins the gold medal. Trusova, despite a historic performance, takes only silver. But even today, people remember that it was her who changed women's figure skating forever. She was suspended for trying to cope with the loss of her mother, but she waited and later brought gold back to America. In 2021, Sha'Carri Richardson qualified for the Tokyo Olympics. Days later, a positive test for a banned substance came back. She said it was the only way she knew how to deal with the grief. But she was ruled out of the games and watched on TV as Jamaica took the entire podium. The suspension ended a month later, and she returned to the track. Her first race back ended in disappointment, and she later failed to qualify for the World Championships. People started whispering that the bright young star was broken, but she was ready to prove them wrong. A year later, in Budapest, Sha'Carri reached the world final and won gold. But that was only a step. She wanted Olympic gold. Paris, the relay final. She was given the anchor leg. The baton exchange wasn't clean. She started her leg in 4th place. Still, she built speed, caught her rivals, and surged ahead in the final meters. Team USA back on the podium, and Sha'Carri's name back on the front pages. She gets clipped and goes face first onto the track with just 400 meters left. It looks like it's over. The others pull away, and she loses position. But Heather Dornan jumps back up and gets right back into the race. She starts chasing, passing one by one. 4th, 3rd, 2nd. Before the final turn, all eyes are on her. Final stretch, she takes the lead. She crosses the line first, scraped knees, still running, but she wins a race she was supposed to lose. This was blatant judging bias, and the crowd had to stand up for a Russian gymnast. Alexei Nemov came to the Athens Olympics chasing his 5th gold medal. By that point, he was a veteran with 12 Olympic medals, and the crowd came to see him. Then Nemov steps up to the high bar. 5 extremely difficult release moves in a row. Amplitude, style, power. Just a small mistake on the dismount. But the judges give him a 9.7, a clear underscoring. The crowd is stunned.
For 10 minutes, the arena boos and refuses to accept the score. Officials panic, and the judges slightly raise it, but it changes nothing. Nemov is still out of the medals. And then the crowd starts chanting his name. It feels like nothing can stop them. But Nemov steps forward and asks them to calm down. And only then, the arena finally goes quiet, and the competition continues. Later, several judges are removed from their positions. He got away with it for too long. And then, it caught up with him. This is Mehdi Makisi Benabad, one of the best steeplechasers of his time. But along with his speed came a reputation. In 2012, he wins. After the finish, he makes a mascot kneel and shoves him on the track. A year later, he wins again and pushes a teenage girl in a mascot costume. No explanation, no apology. Later, a teammate tries to support him. It turns into a fight on the track. But he keeps winning, and it feels like nothing ever happens. Until 2014, European Championships. He wins again. But just meters before the finish, he takes off his jersey, bites it, and starts celebrating early, before the line. Spain files a protest. Officials review the footage. Gold taken away. And this time, karma came back like a boomerang. He slipped off the high bar at the Olympics. But what he did next shocked the entire arena. This was Zanderland, the Olympic champion of London 2012. In Rio, he came to defend his gold. But almost at the very beginning, during one of the release moves, he loses his grip and crashes face first onto the mat. Everyone immediately understands he's out of the fight for a medal. He understands it too, but he gets up, climbs back onto the bar, and calmly finishes the rest of his routine, as if the result no longer mattered. She crashed off the course at 120 kilometers an hour and left the slope on a stretcher. It happened in 2021 during a World Cup downhill race in Val d'Ifasa. It wasn't her first serious fall. Years earlier, she had already crashed twice in slalom. But this one was different. The injury ended her season and forced her to miss the Beijing Olympics. There were surgeries, months of rehabilitation, no races, no headlines. She dropped out of the conversation. Many assumed her career was over. But behind the scenes, she was rebuilding, training, recovering, starting from zero. And in 2026, at the Olympics, she returned. On race day, she starts without being a favorite, but fully prepared. One run, one chance. She skied it clean. No mistakes, no hesitation. At the finish line, the clock showed the difference. 0.04 of a second. Enough. The first gold medal for Team USA at the 2026 Olympic Games.